For the umpteenth time, the agitation for the ban of Federal Special Anti-Robbery Squad, otherwise referred to as FSARS, have inundated the media in the country. You will recall that this call was made in 2019, 2018 and 2017 respectively. The calls were made on the back of the atrocities allegedly perpetrated by the men of the SARS squad, atrocities which ranges from illegal arrests, profiling, killings, illegal checkpoints, and so on and so forth. This time around, however, some people are of the opinion that banning the outfit might not be a wise idea to go by. After all, they are just a unit of the Nigerian police. Besides, they are actually working in some respects. But has it all been like this? Actually, no. There was a time when there was no police unit known as SARS, but security situations in the country at the time warranted their creation. The unit now known as SARS was actually started by one Fulani Kwajafa. Fulani Kwajafa is a retired police officer who rose to the post of a commissioner of police and also headed the NDLA at one point. In an interview with the Nation newspapers on Sunday, 17th December 2017, the octogenarian bare his mind on the eventualities leading to the formation of SARS. It was in the wake of the 1983 coup that brought in General Muhammadu Buhari to power. Lagos, the seat of the federal government, was said to be having problem of robbery, including common stealing, with about 20 reported cases every day. Note that majority of what is known as Lagos at that time was Lagos Island, Ikeja and Lagos Mainland, Yaba, Obalende, Surulere, Mushin and environs. This situation was so dead that at one of the morning briefing of police senior officers, AIGs upwards, the then Inspector General of Police, Etim Iyang, relayed the message from the military government. The IG was a member of the Supreme Military Council and attended their weekly meetings. He said the military threatened to throw the police high ranks out of jobs if the rampant crimes and robbery activities is not arrested. He, Etimi Yang, said, "They warned me at Dodam Barracks that to either sit up or bring the situation down, or your job is on the line. Gentlemen, let's do something. What can we do?" It was at this point that someone suggested the creation of a crack squad to tackle the situation. Fulani Kwajafa was mentioned by one former commissioner of police in Borno State. The two had worked together earlier when Kwajafa was summoned from Lagos to Borno to investigate an armed robbery case, and he succeeded in bringing the 9-member gang to book. 8 of the 9 men were found guilty, sentenced to death, and executed. It was based on this that the former commissioner of Borno State suggested Fulani Kwajafa as the best man to lead the crack squad, and he was subsequently summoned from the CID office at Alagbon. Fulani Kwajafa, however, faced a challenge. Some of the officers are of the opinion that the job should not be given to an illiterate. This is coming on the backdrop of Fulani Kwajafa only completing primary 4. In his defense, however, he stressed thus: "So I told Mr. Iyang, sir, if you want to give me an assignment, give it to me. There should be no condition attached to it. Even though I am an illiterate, I rose from the rank of a constable in the CID over 26 years, and today I am a commissioner of police. I am no longer an illiterate. Trust me with the assignment, sir." The IG, Iyang, gave the go-ahead and asked for lists of logistics needed. He also ordered that he can request for men from any part of the country. So signals were sent out and 80 gallant men reported to Lagos State after 7 days. He claimed to have personally christened the squad Special Anti-Robbery Squad, SARS, and divided the personnel into 4 sections: Crack Squad number 1, 2, and 3. Each was to work by covering at least 8 hours, 3 shifts. The fourth squad was solely for investigations. The squad was noted for cleaning off Lagos State within 3 months, with many criminals fleeing to other states. The squad was even went as far as going to those other states to quell the rising cases of crimes brought about by the influx of criminals from Lagos State. Perhaps the faults are not exactly from Sars. In a rather somber tone, Fulani Kwa Jaffa noted that when we established Sars, nobody was corrupt. When they give you information money, 5,000 naira, it is sufficient for 1 week. Petrol was 7 naira to fill a car's tank. So when you are going on operation and you are giving 200 naira with 3 vehicles, it is sufficient. The craze to get rich quick, the neglect and lack faced by police officers, despite seeing so much affluence being flaunted by the political class, is enough to make any one of them turn from the law-abiding and enforcing officers of the 80s to the public enemy we have today. SARS was created for good, to make our society more conducive and less of crime. But the opposite is what we are getting from some of its operatives today. Maybe a major reform will help in fine-tuning their approach. Do you still believe that SARS should be banned, considering the fact that they actually did the work they were created to do in the past? Have they outgrown their need in the society? Do you think the regular police force is capable of protecting us from criminal elements in the society? Let us know what you think about all of those things. I just believe that because we don't follow due process, and those who are saddled with the responsibility of doing one thing or the other, they always abandon it. A lot of things are really the problems of this whole thing, because if you trace it, whether the man was an illiterate or whatever, but that was not the problem there, because even as at that time, according to what we are hearing now, as at that time, it did well. The whole thing was working well. So my question is that if really they could really create this SARS just to curb the menace, the problem, because according to the story now, the whole problem started from Lagos. The crime in Lagos then was something else. But now, how come now they could not even do the same thing in the north? Because that is where, when you talk of insecurity, that is the home of insecurity and all manner of things. All the ones that are happening in other regions, they are just, to me, they are just a baby crimes compared to what is happening over there. That some people will just wake up one day, want to wipe a whole town, a whole city. So why is it that they could not even do the same thing, but they were able to do that and they were able to get through? So at some point along the line, of course, we know a lot of things that have really gone wrong, even from the so-called elite, the so-called politicians. You know how they are even the biggest. When you talk about crimes, the biggest crimes is being committed by these so-called our leaders. When you are talking about the real criminals, people who deal with billions of naira wasted and being stolen, and we are talking about this whole thing. That is where the real problem starts from. You see somebody who was never a politician or who was never a leader or whatever, after 1 year, when he's been given one position or the other, they begin to live in affluence at the detriment of other people. Give the people what they need. No, they won't, and they will be flaunting it. And that's why you see that a lot of people just believe that after going to school, you see somebody who is not even up to you in the first place, because they are getting into the office of to being one of the political class by crooked way, by fire, by force. That's why it is a do or die affair. And you see such people, acting in impunity, even with what they are taking home. It's corruption. It's criminal. It's a criminal offense, but they won't say anything about it. So a lot of problems. If we don't deal with all of those things that we think, oh, forget it, that is why we are where we are today. You can imagine this whole thing, not that it just started all of a sudden, or started started recently. It's been there for a very long time, and they've been doing it gradually. But see, now the people who created it could not really maintain these people. If you go very well, if you really check the root of this problem from these SARS that are being brutal and all of that, it's part of poverty and the way the country is being structured. Whereas you have the gap between the rich and the poor is wide. It can never be closed unless God will come down from heaven or something drastic will happen. So that is just the history of the person that created this SARS. It was saying that he was an illiterate, but it is neither here nor there. Well, in my opinion, the man has good intentions, and at the time it worked because the country was easier to manage, not our political class. Now that our country has opened the eyes of our idle youth to affluence, lifestyle, and material acquisition. As long as SARS or other crack teams in the police gives financial returns to their heads and supervisors after investigation, we will continue to get it wrong. This is not the appropriate time to ban SARS. We are in October, heading towards December, when we normally record high heinous crime like bank robbery. We should look for alternative organs of any other security outfit that can assure us the safety of our financial institutions. And apart from that, what is the work of the police? I don't really understand. If we have police that are doing their jobs very well, why not? Why would they not be able to do it? Because these people too, they came from the police. Not that they created them, they have a different department. It is one of the units in the police. But the problem is that I don't know whether, now that they have really disbanded the SARS, why is it that the reforms they talked about since 2 years ago, they've not been able to effect it? Because it's not working. Because there's no political will to be able to do that genuine reforms. Because if really they are serious about it, they would have nipped all these things in put it in the right place, and everything will be okay. Well, this is not a semi-illiterate but a chronic one. Well, I don't think that is the problem now, because we have those who are educated now at the helm of affairs. They are worse than Yahoo people. They are worse than Boko. The so-called elite, the so-called learned people among our political class, they are worse than these Boko people. They are worse than all these Yahoo that we are talking about. Are they not more than all these people that have destroyed many lives because of their corruption, because of their greed? So guys, let us hear your opinion. Leave your comment below and let us know your thoughts on this.